this is not live. Unfortunately, Riverside was having an update or something because I could not get into LinkedIn or YouTube. So I'm just doing this on the cusp because I worked my booty off for for this podcast that I wanted to do on tools. But I want to thank those of you that joined and said, "Hey, I'm here." And I really appreciate you.
Welcome to Capture and Connect. Insight, challenges, and proven strategies to help you take your passion for photography and turn it into an income-generating business. And now here's your host, Janice Sullivan.
Today we're going to talk about some essential tools. I only have 3 tools, 3 things that I want you to focus on, but I was going to play because I love equipment. We're going to talk about actually professional tools for us landscape and nature photographers. I'll mention some of my stuff, and I was actually going to ask you, what kind of tools do you have when it comes to actually photographing? And I was going to put you guys up on the screen, and that's what I do because we love our equipment, right? So once I'm done with this podcast, what happens is I cut it all up and I put it into Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and Amazon Music. And you can listen to this a week after the live podcast, but this may go out really fast, to tell you the truth, because normally it takes me time to cut because I have a lot of interaction. You can talk with me down in the comments since it can't be live. And also on LinkedIn, I'm just learning that. So sometimes I can't even find where the heck the live is at. I got to learn this. But today's about tools. And as you could see, I was featured on ShotKit. And you can see that that's Coco right here. This is Coco. And these are all my tools. So little backstory. I got my degree in art with the emphasis in photography. I did a lot of studio photography, and I really we had one thing on landscaped, but of course I love nature, and so I really taught myself. I mean, the professor took us over to Joshua Tree National Park, and I absolutely loved it. And I was just like, yeah, wow, this is my gig. And so if you want to see some really amazing photographers and get some really great tips and tools on equipment for us photographers, they have a variety. They have uh, people like me that are in the landscape nature, and I'm in the fine art field. You can see a little bit of my fine art to the right, and over here to the left is my landscapes. But I love macro photography, and I actually did a lot of macro photography in studio, which is a lot of fun. I love playing with lights, but of course I like hiking with the hubby. And so we did a lot of that fun stuff too. We still do to this day. But I wanted to share ShotKit to show you that I was totally addicted to equipment. Uh, when you get into studio, you do need a lot of little tools to help you with studio work. But in the landscape area, you don't need too much. You just need your lenses, which is really important. The camera is just like a computer. I'm a Canon girl. We'll stay with pretty much a Canon girl. It doesn't matter because it's your thing. And then filters so you can get into the water. So, polarizers. And we all play with our stuff. But in the beginning of my career, I always thought I had to have the top-notch gear in order to start my business. And I want you to know you do not need that top-notch gear. You only need gear that will give you the work that you truly, truly love. And when you hit the mark and you are actually photographing for your people, which is really important, you're photographing for your people, you'll even make work for them. That's the next step in your career as a photographer. And when you make work for the people who you love, you will even push harder to make amazing photography. So I did want to share all the information on on some equipment because we love to talk equipment. But I also wanted to state too that we invest in a lot of our equipment and we love it, honestly. I mean, we're junkies, some of us. But remember, you're investing in all this, and I'm excited that you love the tools too, like I do. But it's honestly time to start. You get to a point where you don't need any more tools. It's time to market. It's time to put time into your business. So I'm going to share with you some goodies that are really important to invest in now because you truly don't need all the other equipment now. It's time for you to invest in things to make your life faster and easier. First thing that we're going to talk about is how do people see your work? Next, number 2 is email so you can connect. And 3, sales. How do you keep track of your clients and how do you focus on keeping track of your money? How much do you make? You got to keep track of that too. But I want to share with you those 3 things. And I'm going to give you some tools to help you because that is what I do. I want to help you because I never got that in college when I was going to school for art and the emphasis of photography. They were talking major business, and I'm talking creatives here. I'm talking to you creatives, not regular business corporation type stuff. This is for you that I wish I had when I was younger. And that was many moons ago. All right. So, how do people see your work? Now, you could be doing this purely online with a website portfolio, or maybe you're going to shows and exhibitions. Maybe you're not even on any kind of social platform. Maybe that's your connections. You could be, maybe that is your connection. But maybe you're showing your images on Instagram. Where do people see your work? You may have the website that I always love every single photographer to have. Know that most people will not buy from the actual website. It's just a big, huge card, business card stating that you're legit. So you could share testimonials, you could share your imagery, you could share who you are. It is amazing. But if you are just starting off and you only have, like, say, a portfolio on Instagram, you could still do this. But my goal is for you to have a website that you love that attracts clients. Because that's what we do. We're different than the rest of the businesses. So if they say, oh, I just have a landing page and I sell. Well, you're not a creative. We're different. So trust me on this, okay? I like to laugh a lot. And sometimes I'll keep this and sometimes I don't because I laugh and some lady told me that I laugh because it's a nervous laugh. It's not a nervous laugh. I am not nervous about what I'm doing, but I laugh because some of the things that I say, I think sometimes I shock myself on some of the things I will say to you, but I'm just the way I am. And that's how I am when I have my calls. So, yes. Okay. Let me just explain about websites. So, you see websites. Ooh, sorry. You see Squarespace all the time on YouTube. This is on YouTube. So, Squarespace is everywhere. They really hit a lot of people up and they hit a lot of photographers up, which is to share your portfolio. They do have invoices. But I'm going to talk to you about, so there's certain things that we need. I'll just explain. When you sell something to somebody, you should have an invoice, right? You don't need contracts if you are selling just a picture, but if you're doing a service, you need a contract. You do need email. You need to start connecting to your people, and email's more personal. That's why so many people use it. So Squarespace has invoices. At the time of this video, I know they do not have contracts. At the time of this video, they have no email automation in progress for it within their realm. PhotoShelter is who I use, and it's really to show my portfolio and really to show my clients, honestly, PhotoShelter has light boxes. And so I can which I'm working on right now, is get my images ready for licensing, and I'll share to my person that helps me get jobs, and um, I'll share some of my latest work on what we discuss. And it's really good because I can make a light box and they can go through, the people that I work with can go through my stuff. And and then we can hash it off on email, honestly, is what we do. But I could just send them a real easy light box. I leave the website up really honestly is for my clients. That's in the CCBiz method. And there's reasons for that. You got to be in CCBiz method to know. But yeah, so they have invoices, yes. They do not have contracts, which you would think they would, but when you get into contracts, it needs kind of like lawyer stuff. That's probably why they don't want to get into the legalities of contracts. And they do not have email auto email automation. That you can send emails out, but what I'm talking about when I say email is automation, where you have one company, people sign up for your email list, which I will talk about today. And then you send one email and it goes out to everyone because you don't have time to honestly email each person individually if you start an email list, which is, again, very important if you are working and selling to a variety of people or connecting to a variety of people. Now, I have clients that are like me that work directly with different companies, and we are fine with email lists that are not huge because we're working with companies. So you don't need a crazy email list unless you are going to plan to sell to many people. I want to get that straight. So I do have an email list now specifically because I am talking to you photographers. So I'm selling to a variety of people my services, my products. So an email list that's automated is a must. So you have to think about what you do. I help photographers build their dream business. Not every photographer has the same dream business, which is awesome. We don't want to all have the same things. So there's different things that I try to touch on who I work with to help you all in the landscape and nature field. And some of you fine arts photographers, some of you fine art photographers, right? So that's something that you have to get on the side then on the email if that's what you want. Let's see. Okay, so that's where I share my work. Now, if you do not have a website like Squarespace or PhotoShelter, and you're using something like Facebook to show your portfolio or Pinterest or Instagram, then what you could do is, let me get over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go. So what you could do is use a company called Flowdesk. So what Flowdesk is a free a free service that they give you, which is a landing page. So a landing page is not a website. It is basically like you can see here. These are just one page that you will put a link on, say, Instagram, right? Want to learn more about me? Grab this free PDF on how to put art in your office. And they click on that and they end on a landing page. And a landing page is where you have one thing that they are going to do, nothing else. And all it is to get on your email list. Nowadays, people, it's kind of the gig, it's like people want something for free or kind of expect it, unfortunately. I shouldn't say unfortunately because I like to give things away. I think it's cool. But back in the days, most photographers would just be like, hey, if you want to look at the details of my next creations, or I'm only selling 5 pieces, and if you want to be one of the first, join my email and I'll give you updates on what I'm doing. Or say if you're a photographer that's doing workshops, and you definitely need an email because you got to connect to photographers also that want to go to your workshop. So you got to give them something like a free downloadable on attracting them. So what would they like from you? And that's what you would make. So that's what Flowdesk does. So they have the landing pages that you could choose from, and you can actually even buy landing pages if you want, that maybe you like something different. They sell them too on the side, but there's free ones. And what you do is then what happens is you'll get all their names, and you manually will have to email each person because you have to pay extra money for email automation, and you have to pay extra money if you actually want to sell on their site. And I did some digging here. So here is their, I'll put the links down below so you guys have it, because I did a lot of time on digging for free for some of you newbies. But if you are not a newbie, this is a great way to actually, if you have a website, I love this company. They have beautiful landing pages where people can go on, and then you pay $35 a month, and that's for a year. So it's even more if you're doing it monthly. But they let you try it. They let you try it and see if you like it. But you get email automation and beautiful landing pages, which I really, really love. And when you do the automations, it's really cool because when somebody buys from you, you don't have to pay. You'll have to pay extra if you want them to buy on their site, but you can tag people that buy from you and add a little tag to them. So if you want to send a special email to them, whoever bought your workshop, then you are good to go and you can email them directly. I've done that because I've had my own workshops and it's been super easy. I haven't used them. I used a different company, Active Campaign, but they're too expensive. So I'm not even going to share that with you right now. But Active Campaign does a good job. So this company, again, will do landing pages, and you have to pay for free. Landing pages for free, and automation email, if you want to pay for that, is $35. So that is for email. Now, there is another company called Aweber, which I will put the link down below, and you can get up to 500 people for free. And I dug into that. Let me see if I put it here. No, I put HoneyBooks in here. I was going to give you the link. Anyways, so Aweber, we'll go back. So Aweber is actually, you get a free email. Again, go down and I'll give you the special link because it's hard to find these freebies. So I'm going to give you a couple freebie stuff that you can do. And again, if you go to their website, you won't see it. So you have to use the link that I'm going to give you. It's a super secret. They try to hide it, but I found it for you. So I'll give you that so you can, I'll talk a little bit more about Aweber in a little bit. But so that's an email. The next thing that we have to do as business people is have a thing called CRM, which is client relation management. And HoneyBooks is really, really cool for photographers that license or need contracts for, say you commission your work and you're doing that continually, then if you have a variety of people that you do these commissions for, HoneyBooks would be good for you, because HoneyBooks is where you get the contacts details when they purchase from you. You got a purchase history. You get an email communication that's automated. You can use that there. And they have proposals, contracts, and invoices. And the contracts are done by lawyers, which is really, really good. And you just plug and play. And I actually went into it to see if it was something really cool. You could try it for like 15 days. I did, and I actually totally liked it. Now, somebody like me that does not do a lot anymore when it comes to contracts and doing licensing. So what I do now is I have someone help me. and I've signed a contract with this person that will license my work. They represent me, and what they'll do, so that those, now what he does is he's the one that has all the contracts. He's the one that's doing that continually. Like back in my days when I was doing it on my own and not doing the business that I have now, which is coaching photographers, then I would just have my one licensing agreement and just change it for the companies that I use. So again, it depends on what you need. The reason why I like HoneyBooks is that you can do not only your contracts and your proposals and your invoices, but you also can email. This company will have everything organized in one spot. But are you ready for that? It's up to you. I don't know what you're doing. It costs $29 for the starter, and that's a yearly amount. You have to, it's more if you pay monthly. So if you're a photographer that's already needing something like this because you are doing contracts, and you definitely need more proposals and invoices done and a variety of things, and you just want to automate with the emails on, actually once something's done, they sign the contract, they get an automatic email. It's really, really easy. I mean, everything's automated. It's a really good place to go if you are into doing stuff like that. Now, I am going to share what I do because I'm sharing with you other companies that do this, but I'm going to share with you CCBiz method. It's a wait list right now. It's opening up soon. But here's what, because I've been in this business, you could join CCBiz method. What I do is I understand the variety of photographers that we have. So I tell them, this is what I do. I say, join Aweber, so you get, or MailChimp, and I'll give you MailChimp down below too, because that's a super secret also. It was hard to find that link. So Aweber or MailChimp, you can have, I know Aweber's up to 500. I believe MailChimp's somewhere around there too. You can have up to free 500 email signups. So there's other things involved with that. So read up what you get. This is for people that are just starting off, but some photographers may already have an email going with a company. What I do is I give them, I was talking about an opt-in. It's basically a free thing. So they get this free template, and from that, they give a link to wherever they're at, whether it's on their website or on Instagram. They come to this, they click this free thing. It takes them to Aweber, and Aweber will, or you can use Flowdesk if you want. And it works really nice because then I give them also a free PDF. Like, this is how to creative macro ideas. Like, say if you're a workshop person, I give them this PDF. If they're not, and they're going to use like how to sell art, then they just change the verbiage, but they get the full PDF. So they have a download, and they put it into their Google Doc, and they can put it in their emails, and they can, when somebody signs up, they get this free goodie for signing up for their email, which is really cool. So, and then also what I do is I give them a Google Sheet, and that's for sales tracker. So they get the sales tracker, they get their clients' information and details that they could put in, they get the revenue. So every time they put in money of what they've sold, then they have a revenue area, and they get that, and it adds it all up, and it's on a Google Sheet. They also get a licensing agreement that I use. I'm not a lawyer, but I do use it, and I give them the licensing agreement so they could just add their business and add what they're doing. I also give them an electronical invoice that they can use, put the information in, and send to their clients. And another thing that I give them is the connection kit, which one of the pieces in the connection kit, which has email automation. Oh, here's the connection kit. So here's the connection kit, and one piece of it is actually automation email. And I explain how to use email automation, and I give them templates, which is really cool. So it makes it easy and fast for them because, again, I always say time is money. So now, okay, so I've been through the three things. I mean, basically, we went through where do they see your work? Get them on an email list and make sure you tracked and talk to them on the email. There's a lot of variety of things that you could do when you're first starting off to get money. But then, as you grow, you build. So don't worry, is what I'm trying to say, is don't worry if you're just starting off. And if you've already started off, make sure that you have things easy. There's workarounds for everything. Nothing's perfect, as we know. But when you have a place that could do the main things, see your work, talk on email, and make sure you know your clients and how much you're making, keep it all together is the ticket. So let's not make it more complicated, even though I may have made it complicated by giving you a variety of things to think about. It really is not that complicated. And it is something that you do not have to go crazy on. I use a lot of Google Docs and a lot of Google Spreadsheets, which are free in my Google. But if some of you just don't feel like doing that, you could do other steps. Just make sure that you're staying in the blue. You don't want to be paying for all this crazy when you're not bringing in money, is what I'm trying to say. Sometimes you have to invest in your business. Well, not sometimes. You do. You invested in all your equipment. It's time to invest in your business. Just don't go crazy. If you're paying $1,000 for your website and you don't even know who your clients are and how to talk to them, that's a waste of money. Okay? If you have questions, let me know down below. All right. I will see you next week. Cheers. If you would like to get show notes, links that I talk about in the episode, and a bunch of other goodness like freebies to help you build your photography business, then head on over to photobizmethod.com. photobizmethod.com. See you there.